Hey, what's up guys? Joker here, and I hope you're all doing well. Today we have got a couple of news stories to get through in the world of tech and PC gaming. First up, we're going to be talking about AMD's Big Navi, which will be based on RDNA 2, and when we can expect to see these release in relation to when the next generation of consoles are coming out. And we've also got a leak of a new remaster from a fantastic open world RPG, which I'm not sure many of you have played, but it's one that I certainly enjoyed, and that is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. So we're going to get fired into all of that juicy news. Did you just finish building a sweet gaming rig only to have this happen to you? Not to worry, because your CD Key has you covered with Windows 10 Pro licenses for under $18. And if you head over there right now, you could save 20% off with my code JPD20 at checkout. You'll receive your key within seconds, and then just click the start button and type activate to find the Windows activation screen, and all you gotta do then is paste your code in. For more info as well as that coupon code, be sure to check out the links down in the description below. So first up, let's talk about the RDNA 2 based Big Navi, as the internet has come to know it, and everyone's obviously excited to see the next generation of Navi and what it can do to compete with NVIDIA, which we already know are very likely coming out with their next generation of cards somewhere around probably September. I'm expecting to get more details in August, and it'll probably launch in September. And also, it sounds like now that AMD will probably be launching maybe shortly after that or directly around that time, which we don't really see that often. There's usually a pretty big gap between when NVIDIA and AMD release new generations of cards. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these can compete, especially with the information that we're getting here, where AMD is not going after just the mid-range like they've been doing for the past few years, and kind of leaving out the high-end enthusiast stuff. So we've got a direct quote from AMD's Devinder Kumar, who is the company's chief financial officer. They were on a web call yesterday during the Bank of America 2020 Securities Global Technology Conference. So they had a big webcast. You can actually listen to the audio of the entire thing if you want to. But we've got some direct quotes here on RDNA 2, Big Navi, as I said, people want to call it. Basically when we can maybe expect to see these cards. So Devinder Kumar in the call, he said there's a lot of excitement for Navi 2, or what our fans have dubbed as the Big Navi, and he then goes on to say that this will be our first RDNA 2 based product. And basically what that means there is that we can expect to see RDNA 2 cards before consoles, which are going to be coming out later this year. So if there's going to be an RDNA 2 product, and it's going to be the first product, as Devinder Kumar says, basically we're going to be able to see dedicated graphics cards with RDNA 2 or Big Navi before the next generation of consoles. So if those are coming out around November, December time, in time for the holidays, we could probably expect to see these in maybe September or October. As he also did say in this call that they are on track to launch their next generation Zen 3 CPUs and RDNA 2 GPUs in late 2020. So there you have it. We will see them this year, which, as I said at the start there, it's going to be interesting to see them competing directly with NVIDIA. Now, as far as the full stack of GPUs, he goes on to say this as well. He said, Big Navi is a Halo product. Now, a Halo product is typically when a company just basically throws everything that they possibly can into a product to attract attention to it. And I don't really like the use of the term Halo product here. I mean, I think it's fine that AMD is throwing everything into this product, but usually a Halo product is something that's almost unattainable. Like, think about like that. If you remember a few years ago, there was that Acer laptop with the ultra-wide monitor and the ultra-wide display built onto a laptop, and it had like two 1080s in it, and it was like a $7,000, $8,000 laptop. Maybe it was even more than that. I can't remember the exact price off the top of my head, but that was basically a Halo product. It was something that showed what the company is capable of doing. Is anyone going to be able to afford it? Absolutely not. That's typically what Halo products are. It's just something to say, we can make this, but really no one can afford it. But I don't think that's exactly what's going to happen here with Big Navi. So the use of the term Halo product here, I feel, is like a little bit of a misrepresentation. I think what he really just means is that they're going to be putting everything they have into Big Navi, but still obviously making it affordable for consumers. He goes on to say here, that enthusiasts love to buy the best, and we are certainly working on giving them the best. The RDNA 2 architecture goes through the entire stack. It will go from mainstream GPUs all the way up to the enthusiast, and then the architecture also goes into the game console products as well as our integrated APU products. This allows us to leverage the larger ecosystem, accelerate the development of exciting features like ray tracing and more. So that's all great news to hear, that we're going to be seeing a full stack of RDNA 2 GPUs this year, not just, the mid-tier like $200 to $400 cards. It sounds like they're also going to have some enthusiast level stuff, hopefully to compete with the likes of a 3080 and a 3080 Ti. What the prices are going to be on these remain to be seen. How they compete directly with NVIDIA's Ampere obviously remains to be seen as well, but it sounds like we are going to have some proper competition in the GPU space later on in the year 2020, with both of the big companies releasing products around the same time, which is, if the NVIDIA cards come out in September and we expect to see an AMD cards by the end of the year, it's going to make enough people want to pause and at least wait to see what AMD has before rushing out and just supporting the green team day one. Because I think NVIDIA is usually so far ahead when it comes to this stuff, but based on what we've heard on RDNA 2 and everything, I think it's worthwhile waiting to see what AMD can offer, and if they can compete at the enthusiast level with something like a 3080 Ti, I think that's great to see. I love the competition. Maybe prices can get driven down a bit. Maybe the 3080 Ti won't be $2,000 after all. And I look forward to seeing what they do here with the full stack, mid-range, enthusiast level, entry level, and everything. Pair that up with a Zen 3 CPU. It's going to be a good late 2020, as we've had a pretty rough go of it here the first half of the year, not just in terms of tech, but obviously everything going on in the world right now. So second half of 2020 is looking like it is going to be very interesting in terms of PC hardware. But let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this. If you're excited for Big Navi, competition here is going to be great to see. Next up, I quickly wanted to mention a leak on the Microsoft Store, something that was posted, it seems, ahead of time, as there's been no real official announcement yet, but it looks like there's going to be a remaster for Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning on the Xbox, on the Microsoft website, I should say. They're calling it Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and yeah, that's basically all we got right now. We don't have a price, although it was said that it's going to be launching on August 11th, and there are a bunch of screenshots here, which we can go ahead and take a look at as well. And, we don't really know exactly what they're going to be doing with the graphics. They haven't given any official details on what types of improvements are being added to the game. But, by the looks of it, we can basically just go off of that and see that this probably is, going to have improved 4K textures, things like that. I don't think, this doesn't look like it's going to be a complete remake like the Mafia 1 game, which we're waiting to come out also in August. So this is something that I will look forward to at least trying out. I played this game back when it first came out on the Xbox 360. It was pretty well received when the game came out. I enjoyed it a lot. I played it to 100% on the Xbox 360. I remember getting all the achievements and stuff because I just wanted to keep playing the game because the combat was very enjoyable, at least to me. The story I thought was also decent as well. Interesting fact, if you didn't play Kingdoms of Amalur, or maybe you weren't around gaming at that time, but this was actually developed by 38 Studios, which was a company created by Curt Schilling, which, if you weren't playing this game or, old enough to be playing games at the time, you probably don't know who Curt Schilling is either. But he was a Major League Baseball player, a pitcher actually, for the Boston Red Sox, who I remember very well because he played on the Red Sox, which is basically the main competition for my favorite team, the New York Yankees. So there was always these huge matchups when the Yankees would play against the Red Sox, especially during that period of time in the early 2000s and late 90s. It was a huge rivalry, and Curt Schilling was always at the middle of that because he was one of the best pitchers on the Red Sox, along with Pedro Martinez, and he would usually do very well against the Yankees, and it was always a tough time when we would go against him. So I always remembered that he was kind of behind the studio that made this game, and then they ended up partnering later on with Electronic Arts because this game had a absolutely ridiculous budget that went into it. And, I remember when it first came out, some people were disappointed by it, but overall the reception was actually quite good. I just don't think it lived up to maybe some of the early promises and stuff like that made by the studio, but it was still a very good, solid action open world RPG, and I enjoyed it immensely. So I'll give the Re-Reckoning a try once it comes out, which people are saying August 11th is when it's going to be coming out based on the leaks. But that is all the information that I have got for you guys right now on Big Navi, as well as Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on the Big Navi news, and also if you're excited about Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. If you want to see any coverage of that on the channel, like benchmarking and stuff, let me know down in the comments. Hopefully it's on a Game Pass, since it was already leaked on the Microsoft Store, or maybe it'll be on Origin Access Premier, as this was actually an Electronic Arts title. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here though and enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you guys do the same. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video.